Amen.
Amen.
All right, it's Chatback time, and I tell you what, you all have some just powerful responses today. God's really working in your heart. The questions today is, how has companionship changed your life? How have others companioned you? How have you companioned others? Here's a response. Companionship is not just having a spouse. It means friendship and looking after friends from time to time. We are still having catch-up dinners for friends to catch up after COVID hit.
So yes, for that one being together, reigniting and reinitializing time together and time physically together, and I suspect time together over the phone and through Zoom and through other electronic means. But that friendship and that being able to be vulnerable and sharing your heart, I think is, this person is saying, is so important. And there's another that says, companionship is critical for our growth. We learn from one another, challenge one another, and support one another.
That is so true, and it kind of speaks to one of the points today about how God divinely works through imperfect people. And sometimes we do challenge each other in navigating conversations and such, and yet we learn so much from that. And makes me think of how some folks give up on companionship, sometimes a little bit too soon. They have a little tangle with somebody, and the next thing you know, off they go. And what happens with that is that the learning and the growth doesn't happen. So I think oftentimes when we're stuck, we're called to help unstuck each other through these dialogues and these conversations. That's a good one. Another one that's really good, it's a little bit of a testimony. It says, this community has changed me profoundly, given my life new meaning. I would not be here freed and grounded in faith, generous and serving without you. And I feel equipped sharing my faith. Thank you. That's why we're here. Just to help people find that meaning and that purpose in community. So this testimony touches me.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's what community is about. It's a shared testimony, a shared spirit, and there's a matter of trust and vulnerability where people feel safe and brave to be able to share at that time too. Another says, consequences of being excluded from my family made it difficult to get close. Nevertheless, and there's that nevertheless, God provided wonderful people contributing to my well-being, and I've tried to pass it on. Grateful. I think it's the same person that says companionship sometimes means being able to trust a friend's words. No, different person. But nevertheless, I will say, being able to trust a friend's word to me even when I don't want to hear it. And so that first person saying, sometimes it's difficult to overcome what's been said and felt and experienced in the past, yet nevertheless in community, in times of experience, this community has shown to be friends and to be companions to this one.
It is, and both of those really speak to why it's so important. There are people who we are their only family. MCCD is really the deepest and the truest family, and in some cases the only family that some folks have. And yes, that idea of being able to speak truth in love and through love to each other. And I know there's been many people in my life who have said something to me I didn't want to hear, and yet had I not heard it, I would have never moved. And so I'm grateful for the courageous friends. And then another one, my companionship has changed post-COVID. By now, I am more intentional in making companionship more of a priority. And I think that's one of the things we're learning through the pandemics is how important companionship is and how intentional we're called to be. So yeah, good stuff.
Absolutely, absolutely. To reach out and to be present, and whether that presence is through a screen, over the phone, through a card, somehow to be present and journeying along with each other, not necessarily having to be physically present, although that's a great benefit too.
And so continue to think about companions and community. And just came to you, I'm going to do a little shout out here. This week at Bible study, we're going to be receiving a new member. We'll be showing the video in worship probably next Sunday, but that's this Tuesday at Bible study. If you've not been to Bible study for a while or ever been there, this is a great time to come and to be a part of this companionship that's going to be happening on Tuesday night. And the link for that's through our eBlast website. There's lots of ways to get there, and we'd love to see you. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Amen.
Absolutely,
Amen.
yes.